So today is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, and I probably should have washed this car before I made this video because it's filthy. Maybe my iPhone, maybe 60 frames per second will save me here, but I don't even know if I'm shooting 60 or if I'm shooting 30 or 24, the appropriate frames per second. Either way, I actually took this car out today to drive it. In theory, for the last time before taking it to the dealership to trade it in for its replacement. And in this drive, during this drive, thinking about it, sleeping on it, and now coming to this realization, this moment right now, I can confidently say that that is not going to happen. That is absolutely not going to happen. There's something special about this car, and we have a bond, and I cannot break that bond. Not yet, at least, and hear me out because there's good reason for it. Or actually, maybe there's multiple good reasons for it. Yesterday, finally, it's actually kind of strange. I really thought that my daughter would have the same love and passion for cars and driving as me, but not so much. And even with me trying to bribe her with a cool car at 15, it wasn't enough. So even though she has had the ability to get a learner's permit for several months now, she didn't actually get it until yesterday, but she did. And so this is a huge step. This is a huge milestone. And she's going to need a car to drive, to learn how to drive, to practice, perhaps maybe even be her own one day, even though she tells me she wants a convertible. So I think that there is a specific need and purpose to keep this car. In addition to the replacement will be a two-seater. And I really enjoy driving my cool car, my fun car with the family. And with a two-seater, that wouldn't necessarily be possible in all instances. And therefore, it's got to stay. Now, I'm not thrilled about the cost, and I was actually, anticipating this offsetting the new purchase and lowering the tax and getting the tax credit, and keeping my midlife crisis cost down. But honestly, guys, for what they were offering for this vehicle, it's not worth it, especially based on how much this car means and is worth to me. And, sure, the dealership would put a markup on it, and, I could probably try to do the same and sell it. And maybe I will. But I'll know from the start. I'll have a comparison. And if by chance I'm not entirely in love with my new toy, I still got my old toy. If both have to stay, both have to stay. But if the new toy says, it says to me, you don't need this car anymore, well, then I can sell it, or my kid could drive it, or a variety of things could happen. And I am very much so interested in documenting this vehicle. It now has 76 plus thousand miles on it. It was a CPO. It has since expired, but it is still under a warranty. And I've actually had several warranty claims through Porsche Certified and this third-party company paid out. And so I'm extremely happy that I've had these warranties, and I'm not sure if I'm going to renew the warranty in November, if I'll even have the car by then. But if I do, I'm not sure if I'll renew it, but I definitely want to document it and just see, where do we go from here? How many miles can we rack up on this vehicle? And what does it cost to do that? And maybe what do other people want to know, especially considering the way the car market's changing, and older cars, used cars, specifically gas powered, non-hybrids, minus all the electrification and tariffs and all that. Older cars are definitely going to continue to be more valuable from a nostalgic perspective, I think, driving perspective, for drivers, for sure. This one here, especially for me, I really like my Porsche. I kind of wanted a 911 because I just figured like that was the natural progression. I had a 981 Cayman, and then I had this Macan GTS, and the 981 Cayman obviously was naturally aspirated. The Macan GTS is turbocharged, and the 911 would have been turbocharged as well, but I would prefer a GT3, but I'm just not willing to spend GT3 money yet. I don't know if I ever will be. I'm just not ready yet. And so I thought the natural progression was a 911. Therefore, 911 in my price range would be a Carrera S, still turbocharged. I even considered a Taycan Cross Turismo, mainly from the looks and just, you know, trying to get it set up and just being visually appealing. I'm not ready for an EV, and I'm definitely not ready for a Taycan EV, especially a first generation Taycan EV, just not ready for it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that my love is still with Porsche. I do have this tie to Porsche, and we got a new Porsche dealership being built down the street, which is, I think, is going to be pretty cool. But this is my 911. I don't know if I'll ever do a 911. I think this is my 911, and I love this car. I love this 3.0. I love this better than, I think it was a 2.9 that came in the 9.5 B.2. I think what it was, maybe. I had an option to get either one at the time, and I chose this one because I think it's louder. I think it has more emotion and more soul. There's more of a spirit to it. And I just really, really like this car in so many different ways. Plus, I got plans. Like, I kind of want to do the turbo upgrades. I want to do the downpipe. I want to do catless downpipe. I want to possibly even take off the air suspension and go with traditional coilovers to get a better stance, and maybe even get new wheels that are slightly more aggressive. And yeah, it's just, there's so much to it. And it's like, even if I decided, you know what, I really miss this car and I want to get it again, I can't get this car back. It wouldn't be mine. It wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't know it. And it would be more expensive than what, you know, essentially I would be giving this away for. So it's not going to happen. I think the goal here is to keep this car. I'm going to keep this car and get the other car. You guys will see what the other car is here soon. And just manage them. Just manage them. Not going to do any modifications, not going to do any real upgrades. I'm just going to manage them. I'm going to drive them. I'm going to enjoy them. And then I'm going to decide what I want to do from there. Now, obviously, there's some other factors at play here. Like, I didn't want 3 cars or 2 cars. Me personally, I didn't want 2. And I didn't want to have 3, as we have a 2-car garage, and one would have to sit outside. But I mean, these are compromises that just have to be made. And like I said, maybe down the road, I decide I like my new car better than this one, and I'm ready to let it go. But even still, when we go back to my daughter now having a learner's permit, soon having a driver's license, eventually there will be 3 cars. So it's essentially a bridge we have to cross. We don't have to right now, but, you know, to be able to, as crazy as it sounds, my daughter's first car is going to be a Porsche. Not like it's like, you know, it's a 2018. It's got miles on it. It's not crazy expensive or valued anymore. But, you know, me growing up, that would have never happened. That would have never happened. But at the same time, I do think for what it is, and especially if it maintains its reliability and its value, subjective value, then it can't be beat in comparison to going out and buying something else for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, maybe. Which, fortunately, she says she doesn't want a Tesla anymore. Okay, and so that's where we are today, folks. I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm also just happy. I'm excited. I'm trying to get my opinions, my feelings, my thoughts, my emotions out on video. maybe even to the point of documenting more of this car, the other car, and cars in general. And maybe connecting with you guys out on the road. Who knows? Maybe if you see me, honk your horn, give me a wave. But I will say that the contrast of what will be parked next to it in the garage is drastically different. But it definitely fills the gap, the void, the desire, the want of a 911 GT3, albeit it's not a 911 GT3. But in a lot of ways, I think it's comparable. And you guys let me know what you think.